Hey, it's Rav. You're watching Real Investments. We're talking about how to make money in real estate. We're talking to the everyday investor. I'm so grateful for my guests that came on out. John Simpson making a lot of money. We just showed you how to make 65%. Then we said, let's find somebody as handsome as he is. Let's find somebody even prettier than that. So we found the prettiest woman we could find around, and Mandy's on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And apparently, not just a pretty face. We know how to make a dollar, too.
It takes a lot of work, absolutely.
Anthony, wait till you hear this. So let's just jump into this, and then I want to talk to you afterwards because it's insane.
Okay.
Because he showed us how to make 65%. You didn't make 100% on your, and was this your first property?
No.
No. So your which property, the one we're going to talk about today, what number is that down there? 2, 3?
Fourth.
Your fourth property.
Our fourth property.
Okay, so and was that the last property?
It was our last property. We
Okay.
have an accepted offer on another one, but doesn't close till July. So
this is 5 properties.
yes.
And who's this? You and?
Myself and my husband.
Yourself and your husband.
Yes.
You're doing
and we
this.
hire our children too.
And you hire your children to do this.
Child
Nice.
labor.
Okay, so that's fantastic. But no, I mean that's a lot of fun keeping the family, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, what education? I mean, it's fantastic education for them.
Yes.
We're not going to. I mean, mom didn't teach me, dad didn't teach me, my church didn't teach me, the school didn't teach me. We have to learn this kind of stuff, financial education somewhere, and so that's really why this show exists, so that we can at least learn that hey, there's people that are doing this. So on your fourth property, we're going to close on a fifth, but on your fourth property, you didn't make 100% return, you didn't make 200% return. What did you make?
285% return on investment.
280. Look at me, folks. 285% return she made on her property in the first year. You don't believe me? I don't believe her either, so let's go through the numbers here. I actually do believe her, but we'll go through the numbers here. And there's usually a bit of a story, because when you are in the world of real estate and looking to create wealth, you just start to see things.
Absolutely.
So obviously 4 properties later, or 3 properties later, here's our fourth, you saw an opportunity.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit. So the ROI, again, I mean, I can't believe I'm going to write this down, but I'm going to. So the ROI on this was?
285%.
285% on your money on the first year.
Yes.
Okay. So we bought a property. The purchase price on this property was?
$75,000.
$75,000.
Yes.
So you bought this in 1924.
December 2014.
Okay. So you bought this property for $75,000. Where is this property located?
All of our properties are in Midland.
In Midland.
In Midland, Ontario,
Okay.
yeah. So there's quite a bit of industry in Midland with a mental health center, a super jail. So there are some professionals coming to it, but the purchase prices of homes are quite low.
Okay. So Anthony, you have clients, including yours truly, all over Canada, maybe even abroad. Like, you don't have to invest in your backyard per se. You can live in the heart of Toronto, in which you do, but you have investments in other places, and you're investing in different things. I think you're producing a film, all that kind of stuff. Talk about this notion that you have to only invest in your backyard. I mean, the viewers here, we're watching anywhere from Durham region, Toronto, York, Peel, Aurelia, Collingwood. I mean, that's who's watching the show. But I don't have to invest in my own backyard. I can invest outside, such as in a place like Midland.
It's very simple. Your own backyard is comfortable, and that's why you think that.
Yeah.
But as long as you understand the market that you're investing in, and you do the background homework and educate yourself, like obviously you have, where you understand what the nature of the market is, and how is the real estate market itself going to be supported, where is the influx of individuals coming from that would buy, rent, or otherwise you would handle with the property. As long as you understand that market, anywhere, you can go anywhere. You just have to have that comfort level, and that comfort level, as we always talk about, has to come from educating yourself and really having a good fundamental understanding of the market you're in.
No, absolutely. And if the economy is good in your own backyard, then congrats, invest in your own backyard. I'm just saying we don't always have to just do that. It's amazing to me that everybody invests in their own backyard. I mean, as the economy's not doing that well everywhere, There's different pockets and so on and so forth. So here we are in Midland, right?
Yep.
Midland, and we
Yep.
bought this property for $75,000. Now, was this market value, or is there a bit of a story to this?
There's a bit of a story.
Okay.
So the house was sold. I'd talked to my realtor, a Remax agent in Midland, and he said, no, it was sold. Saw the sold sign on it. Everything's done.
Okay.
It comes back on online, and I called them up and I said, I want to go see it. And when I see you, I want to know the story. Why is it back on the market?
After it was sold.
After it was sold.
It's not like it was conditionally sold. It was firm sold.
It was firm sold.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So little old lady had moved out of her house.
Yeah.
And in between her having left and the gentleman having moved in,
Yeah.
somebody broke into the house. So there
Okay.
was the door that had been knocked in, jarred,
that's
held closed.
unfortunate. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But nothing was. There was everything was gone. It was an empty house.
Okay.
Well, the gentleman lost his job.
Yeah.
And the deal didn't close. So grandma doesn't want her house anymore. She's already moved into the home.
And she probably doesn't want to sue him
right.
and all that kind
That's
of
right.
stuff. Yeah.
So it came back on the market from, it was originally listed at 110,
Oh.
came back on for 90.
Yeah.
And when my agent and I walked through it, I said, what's your number? And he said 75, and I said, let's try it.
Yeah.
And that's what she took it. First
Beautiful.
time. An hour and a half later, we had
Beautiful.
an accepted offer.
But there's a bigger story than that. The story is you were online.
yes.
That's the story here. You know, that's the story, Mandy, that I hear. You were online. It was already sold, but you were online. You noticed something. You call your agent, you know, your investor team, whether it's your agent, your lawyer, your inspector,
Yeah.
all that kind of, your lender, and you were on top of it. Because when you start to think like that, and you turn off the Twitters and the Facebooks and the LinkedIns, and you only watch Real Investments, when you know, stop those windows of penetration, that just everything is so detrimental to our health these days, Anthony, right? So much stress. Not only do I have to hear what happened today and last week, I'm listening to the radio just because I did for a second. Usually before I come on the show, I listen for a second. In 1927, back today, today 60 years ago, there was a mass murder in. So not only do I have to listen to it today, they want to take me back there last week, but you've programmed your mind
Yes.
to say, no, I want to listen to real estate, I want to hear about opportunities, I want to hear about economy. And so that's how you bought a property that was at $110,000 for $75,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
coaches that we work with said the money is made in the buy.
Yeah.
And so I always look at that and make sure that I am getting an appropriate property for
Yeah.
a good price.
Okay, let's go through the numbers here. So your down payment on this property was what?
$15,000.
$15,000, because that's 20% of this.
20%.
Okay, so your down payment is $15K, and you know, probably at $75,000, you didn't have to put too much. Maybe a little bit of lipstick in that thing.
Yep, $5,000.
$5,000, so $5K. So we bought it for $75. We're in for
$20,000.
$20K. So that's what you're in for. You're in for $20K. So let's make our money. So the appreciation is
We did 3% in Midland, which was $3,900.
okay. So $3,900 is your just your simple appreciation. You don't do anything, and it
Right.
just increases in value. Your debt reduction, mortgage pay down,
$2,900.
debt reduction. Somebody paying off your mortgage. What do you say?
$2,900.
$2,900, and then
Cash flow.
One tenant.
Yes, just one tenant.
Okay, so cash
It was
flow
quite low, $675.
$675. Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I know.
Quite low, $675. And then, I mean, if it was worth 110, I know this number is going to be big. If it was originally worth 110, and now you put some lipstick on it, what was the forced appreciation? How much did it increase?
It increased by $50,000.
$50,000, but it was already at market value 110, which is $35,000. So it was already $35,000.
Yes.
So now 50 is not that outrageous because you put $5,000 into a little bit of paint and accessories and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So you made $50K on this.
$50,000.
Congratulations.
So the other thing that was done, we did that the 20 days.
in 20 days.
In 20 days.
This is not annualized. This is in 20 days.
My husband's still alive. But
Wow.
it is a lot of work.
And the kids are still alive.
The kids are
Okay,
still
what do all
alive.
these numbers add up to?
$57,000.
$57,000.
Roughly. Estimate, close.
Okay,
round
okay,
rough.
about $57,000. So
Yeah.
$57,000 divided by, that's my profit, divided by 20K, because that's what I'm in for, times by 100 should give you that. Okay, folks? So if I'm wrong, shoot me an email. Tell me I'm wrong. I love to be wrong. I don't mind. She made $57,000. You divide it by what she's in for, $20K, times it by 100 to give you a percentage. It should be around the 285% mark. Not annualized, but in 20 days. In 20 days. Fantastic. And then now, obviously, if you wanted to, you could pull some money out, do another property, so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
And now you just closed on your 5th property.
Yes.
And so are they all kind of, 100K-ish type properties?
This is a triplex for 189. We have the negotiated price.
Triplex for 189. I'm going to get 3 rents for something that I'm buying for under $200,000. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And we see these properties all the time, Anthony, but we don't see them all the time. You see them 5 times from Mandy, right? You would think the numbers of people would be vast, but they're not. It's just a few people that are just doing it over and over and over.
It's those who are willing to make that jump. You found a market, a niche, and hey, you go for it. And there's many, right? And like you talked about, their pockets. Just because it's not in, everybody thinks GTA, and they have tunnel vision with respect to that. And you know what? You still can make a lot of money by doing this, but there's lots of, and look at the opportunity. I mean, this is fantastic. And you did hit something right on the head, Manny. I really want to emphasize for everybody at home. You make your money in the buy. Full stop. If you're able to negotiate and do those things and take advantage of opportunities as they present them and move quickly, right? I mean, you have to be able to move relatively quickly to get it done.
Especially if you're, and I'm not saying you're flipping, but especially if you know you're going to do some work to it as well, then yeah, we kind of buy, not that Grandma's house was ugly, but just for the sake of I don't have a wide vernacular, we want to buy the ugliest home that we can find and then put a little bit of lipstick. So talk to me a little bit about the lipstick. What did we do with 5K? I mean, it doesn't get you very far.
Yeah. No, Grandma upkept her house very well. She had some new windows, a new furnace.
Nice.
The roof was good, siding was good. So those are key big reno costs that we didn't have to do.
Yeah.
But Grandma had 3 centuries of flooring down.
Yeah.
So we
a
took
pride
that.
of ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had her original curtains. She had cobwebs that I think she must have spoke to the spiders on.
Yeah.
She didn't have a fridge in the kitchen. It was in her special spot. So just some tweaking of the property.
And you know what's so funny? Because you're an investor, Mandy. Because you're an investor and there was nothing emotional about this, you could see past it.
Right.
But if it was, and please, I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but if it was my gorgeous, beautiful wife who's allowed to have emotion attached to her residence, she may say, no, I don't want to live here, even though it was only 5K that could fix it all up. Listen, I'm inspired by you, proud of you. Thanks for being on the show, and I look forward to what's going to happen to your 5th property, that triplex. So make sure you shoot me an email and let me know what's happening there.
For sure. Thanks for
being,
having me.
For being on the show. Yes, it's great. Well, there you have it, 285% in 20 days. Mandy just made on her property. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, they can through me.
Absolutely.
If you want to talk to Mandy a little bit more about what's happening in Midland, you can email me, go to raptour.com, find me through there. It's not over yet. We've got one more guest. We're going to learn how to make some more money in real estate just by doing some very simple things. And Anthony, did I tell you you're not just a pretty face? Anthony Maniaci, co-host on the show. You can also call him for any legal questions that you want. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Real Investments. Did you know that there are other ways to invest in real estate other than buying a home or a condominium for rent or to flip? From private first and second mortgages to investing in mortgage investment corporations or development projects, there are many ways to diversify your real estate holdings.